Hey everybody, welcome to the JurassicWorld.org trailer analysis for the global trailer that was released today. I'm here with Chris. You alright, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing great. This is like...
Yeah.
This
I
is
really,
fun.
really like this trailer.
Yeah, same. Which, as you know, that's pretty monumental for me to say, because I haven't loved the past trailers. I haven't hated them, they didn't do anything for me. Like, I still had a lot of faith in the movie, but they didn't do anything for me. And this one... This one did it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been kind of really, really trying to remain hopeful from the first two trailers. I did like them, but they weren't perfect. And then this one, I was just like, yeah, I really needed that.
You worked to keep a happy face for the last two. This one, you actually had a happy face.
Yeah, definitely. This is the trailer. I mean, it was very spoilery, but I enjoyed it.
It could have been worse.
It could have been.
Like the Terminator trailer.
Yes.
Jesus.
Here we go. So the first shot is of the
raptor holding pen.
Yeah, which is in a fantastic location on Hawaii.
Yeah, actually,
that's
actually funny. That's actually Louisiana, and then that's a plate of Hawaii. They filmed the raptor containment area. That was like outside the NASA set in Louisiana.
Oh yeah, so it was. And they've put it into Hawaii.
Yeah, and you can see the vehicles, the Mercedes 4x4s.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so then we have the Raptors.
Yeah, we have the Raptors with Chris Pratt. We saw the scene in the Super Bowl trailer. It's got a few more passes. You can tell it's a little different looking. Yeah,
we see Omar Sy, I believe, in the background.
Yeah,
there.
and his nice pink shirt really feels Jurassic Park. It's got the tropical vibe, and Chris Pratt looks serious because he's got a pack of angry velociraptors. There is a beautiful shot. I don't know if that's Charlie or Delta. I think that's Charlie though. But I can't quite tell because they look pretty similar in the movie, roaring at the camera.
Yeah. It's not blue, obviously. It doesn't have the stripe, but it's a really nice shot. Almost could pass off as an animatronic. Oh, it's not, but it could.
Yeah, it's definitely like a high detail shot, and you know it's going to look great on the big screen where you can see all the rendering detail that went into it.
Yeah, it looks terrifying.
I think left to right you have Delta, Blue, and then Charlie. It's hard to tell because Charlie and Delta, once again, look pretty similar in this. They both look kind of green.
Yeah, they do. But it's a nice shot. But it goes on a little bit longer, and then we get this scene from the really sexist scene.
Oh, yeah. Don't tell Josh Whedon. He's...
Whedon. Yeah, we've got Chris Pratt talking to Bryce. What does he say in this bit?
He says, what is it? He's like, that's when he's like, I'm sure you understand at least one of those things, because he was talking about, they want to hunt, they want to eat, they want to,
Yeah. It's, it was not the best choice of scene for them to release.
I don't know, it had like an Indiana Jones or like a Star Wars Han Solo type of feel to it.
In a way, yeah. And then we see a really nice shot of some raptors running through deep jungle.
Charging through the jungle. And they're
really
popping
nice
over
shot.
logs, interweaving. It's just pretty cool.
Okay, yeah, then it cuts to a shot from in front of the raptors, and if you pause it at the right time, you can get a really nice screenshot close up, showing the raptor's eye.
Yeah.
These raptors are really, really nice, man. That's Blue as well.
Yeah.
They really follow Blue a lot in this film.
I love the variation of the different raptor colors. Something that we haven't seen Echo, who is the brownish yellow one. We haven't seen Echo in very...
Maybe he was punished.
I don't know, because Echo is in the scene with all four of them later on in the night, so...
That's true. Maybe he's like a newbie.
Yeah, I don't know. But Echo's got the facial scar, so Echo's seen some shit.
Oh, well, maybe he's like Caesar from Planet of the Apes. Not Caesar, what's his name? The badass one.
Yeah, Koba.
Yeah, maybe he's like Koba,
yeah.
And he's been punished, or maybe he's not in that middle training scene because maybe he got too angry. Maybe that's why Chris Pratt is really like...
Yeah, maybe that's...
Because he set the other three off. Oh, dude!
I don't know. I'm excited.
I'm excited. Moving on from that shot, we have Chris Pratt doing the fist
finishing his fisting motion.
Mm-hmm. We'll move on from this scene pretty quickly.
Title screens.
Titles, Universal, Legendary. We've got a nice logo there.
And then you have a beautiful shot of Main Street.
And I think, have they added that building in the background? Security building? Looks like it's from Operation Genesis.
Oh, are you talking about the building up on the mountain range?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the helicopter set. I love the Innovation Center, by the way. It's just got a really, really cool look to it.
I've never really paid that much attention to it. It's like a hybrid of the original visitor center.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, no, and this Main Street
Very
looks gorgeous.
futuristic.
Main Street looks really, really gorgeous, and I appreciate that like everything in that scene is practical, except for the Innovation Center and the helipad, and of course the mountain range is a separate plate, but still
filmed.
Yeah.
No, it's looking good, Main Street, and then we've got the Gallimimus shop.
It looks better. It
does look better,
and they have a little bit more variation in their color palette.
That's true, they do.
And there's more. I love this next shot.
This is, I think this is my favourite scene from the trailer. This is the, okay, so you remember the leaked clip that showed a supposed goat being filmed in November? Was it in November?
It was like November or October, something like that.
And there was a whole debate as to whether or not it was for Jurassic World, and in the end we all thought it was Wrong Turn 5 or something.
Yeah, but then Universal issued takedown, so we're like, oh, it's probably is Jurassic World.
Yeah.
It's worth noting they didn't film it in California. They didn't film it in Hawaii or Louisiana. They filmed it in California in the redwood forests out there, and it's just gorgeous.
The goat's name in real life is called Earl, and you can see, this is obviously the T-Rex enclosure, which looks like the Lost World, which I really, really like.
Do you see the guy up in the security tower up there behind the viewing?
Oh, I didn't notice that before. That's so cool.
Yeah, so there is a security guy who's like watching over just to make sure everything goes, and everyone's inside of what looks like a fallen log, which is just that is such a cool look. Like that just looks like concept art.
That's so trespassing, man.
And it looks like concept art come to life, like the fallen log, but it's not really a fallen log. It just looks like that for the Tyrannosaur's sake. Yeah,
dude, it's so Jurassic Park that, and the security tower is like the high hide in Lost World.
Yeah, right, exactly.
This is a proper Lost World sort of scene. I really like this scene.
Lost World mixed with Jurassic Park because you've got the goat. You know, it would be pretty horrifying to watch a T-Rex be fed a goat. Like, I would like it. I would feel so horrible though. Like, I could not see like bringing my kids to see a T-Rex eat a goat. I could see a T-Rex eating a dead goat, but like a living goat just minding its own business. God.
Maybe there's obviously a sign that says,
"Oh yeah,
this is at your discretion." But we live in a really desensitized world now, Chris.
I don't know.
I don't think kids will be too bothered by this.
We're desensitized to everything except for animal violence. I think seeing animals get eaten still tugs at our heartstrings.
True, yeah. Especially a cute little goat.
Yeah.
But it's not a dog, so it's cool.
Yeah, if it was a dog, oh.
And plus, everyone loves a T-Rex. But yeah, we jib down. This is the leaked shot. It's the jib down. That's what they were filming. And then we go inside the fallen log.
And we can see Ty trying to jump over the crowd to see.
Yeah, and this again is so the Lost World when they peek up by the trailers, next to the trailers. The T-Rex pops up, you get a great look at its eye. But
you see her only for a brief second.
Yeah. And I really, really appreciate that then they haven't shown us the Rex other than this. I just think we all know what a Rex looks like, but I don't want it to be spoiled.
Yeah, and plus she's the Rex from the first movie. Like, there's something special about seeing her back on the big screen. If we could say one thing, I wish this scene was a practical shot because it's T-Rex, and that's like the one thing we're so used to being practical. But it looks nice nonetheless.
Yeah, it looks good, but I completely agree with you. It could have been practical, but I guess it just wasn't feasible, especially if they filmed this scene.
Yeah, later on. I'm guessing they just never built, and I guess they just never went for a T-Rex animatronic this time, which is what we heard, that they did not do a T-Rex animatronic.
And then we cut to the Mosasaur Arena, crowd of people outside. We've seen this shot before.
The next shot, the bleachers are probably on like the bleachers are like a ride, much like the first Jurassic Park, how there was like that ride along seat thing.
Yeah.
So the bleachers probably sink underneath, and you see the Mosasaur, and you see it eating.
The extras were told that as well.
Yeah,
they were told the bleachers go down. So okay, there we go. You've done it, Chris.
A lot of them mistook it and thought they were falling into the water, but what they're really doing is watching it feed underwater.
Yeah. So we see Jules bleeding to death. Then the Mosasaur comes in, grabs it. People are cheering. It's obviously a really cool bit. And then we cut to the front, and I have to pause it here. That's my friend Anthony right at the front there, in the middle. The guy with the big grin on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the guy who's making the Mesozoic Island fan film.
Oh,
he got his time on set, man.
That's
so cool.
That's awesome. Oh man, so jealous.
It must be so cool seeing yourself. So we go through people cheering, and then we see Nick and Ty next to an even different yellow shirt woman. Have you noticed that?
No, hold on. Gotta go back. So they didn't have the same yellow shirt girl? That's a different girl, but she's dressed the same. That's funny. They must have not got the same girl back.
It's so funny, man.
Oh, also, what's worth noting is everyone thought Nick Robinson's character was going to be indifferent the entire movie, but even right there, he's like, oh man, that was awesome.
Yeah, this is early on, so I assume he has a very nice time at Jurassic World.
Yeah, so we're not going to have to watch like the angsty teenager for the entire movie. Like, he's immediately drawn into how awesome dinosaurs are.
Man. If you've seen Kings of the Summer, he can play that.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're moving on. So we get that nice shot of the InGen helicopter coming up to Nublar.
Mm-hmm.
The grade hasn't really changed. It's still really blue.
Yeah, it's a little too blue for my taste.
Makes it look digital, but
yeah,
I guess it'll look better when it's not a YouTube compressed trailer.
There's no doubt, even though we're close to the release of the film, this is not the final cut. This is not the final edit. Like, it's still going through work.
Then we get another shot, a slightly different shot, I think, of the
lab.
In the lab, some bones. This is in the lab.
That's where
lab.
Is that where you make dinosaurs, or is that where you play God?
Jurassic World. So we're moving on. We get another shot of the eggs, which we've seen. Then we get a shot of the gyrosphere, which again we've seen.
It's a cool scene. It looks a little weird in motion, but it's a cool scene.
Then we cut to Chris Pratt walking up the stairs.
I love this line.
This kind of summarizes the whole trailer.
Yeah, because right up until this point, you hear Bryce Dallas Howard say, and she says something like, "Well,
what up the wow factor?" says Bryce, and then Chris says, "Dinosaurs, wow enough."
Yeah. Exactly.
And then we get that same shot of them looking out into the enclosure.
Yeah.
We get the eye shot, which looks like it's improved.
Yeah, it's still like a little... Like, it seems a little under-rendered compared to all the other shots, but...
But it's definitely there.
Yeah.
It's they're improving this shot, and something tells me they'll be improving the CGI up until the last kind of minute until this film's released.
Yeah, that's how it is for these big CGI films.
Yeah. So moving on from that shot, we see...
I love this.
Oh, finally we see Wu.
We see B.D. Wong reprising his role of Dr. Henry Wu,
and he says,
"We designed her to be we designed her to be bigger than a T-Rex, and look how proud he is about that."
He's so happy, man. This is Wu from the book.
Yeah, this is. I mean, he's Wu is a genius, just completely out of touch and just
I wonder if he gets out in this film into the field, actually sees what he's created up close.
That would be cool. That would be cool to see him kind of have like a...
We have another shot from behind two workers and Pratt.
Yeah,
here.
So you got these two guys. They're probably unlucky bastard number 1 and unlucky bastard number 2.
Yep.
And then we've got the shot of her foot stomping down. It's a little less white this time around. Like, it was really pale the first time we saw it, and now it's sort of got like a little bit of like a pearlescent, maybe like a corroded copper type of sheen to it. I like that.
Yeah, and then we have the same jib shot up.
We've got Bryce driving in the, is it the GLE coupe, saying we've had a asset break out of containment?
Yeah. It's pretty commercial, this shot, but I think it'll be cool in context.
I think that it just feels commercial because the first time we saw the shot was literally in a car commercial. I think I think if we never saw that Mercedes commercial, we wouldn't necessarily associate it that way.
It's obviously the movie's pretty frantic at this point.
Yeah.
You see Pratt running out from the enclosure.
That's so cool, seeing that thing's hands just busting out of the enclosure and just getting so close to him. And I love when... you see Jake Johnson for a quick second, wearing his classic Jurassic Park shirt.
And look at those dinosaur toys on the shelf.
Yeah, but Jake Johnson, he's playing a control room technician, and he is wearing a classic Jurassic Park shirt. And he's got dinosaur toys surrounding him, so he's basically one of us working at Jurassic Park.
And you can tell this is out of his depth.
Yeah.
He's just like, well, hang on, what's going on?
Yeah, you can tell he's going, oh god, like...
Yeah.
Then
so he rises up, and then we have to pause it here. That's Travis Burns. Remember the fan that unfortunately passed away, and that's him right at the front there. So we get an even nicer shot of him up close. He's the guy with the blue fedora-like hat on.
That's cool. I'm glad that he's able to be seen in the movie.
Yeah, it's a nice clear shot as well. And yeah, that's the Spinosaurus skeleton in the background.
And everyone's booking it out. That's a really cool shot. I can't tell where they're running to. Maybe towards the end. No, I think that's towards the Innovation Center.
This looks like...
Or the hotel.
If you remember when we last saw him in the trailer, he runs sideways. Instead of like up Main Street, he runs sideways past Nick Robinson as he spins around. So it looks like this kind of group of people found a side gate.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a nice shot, people running. Then we get a bird's eye view shot. So this is during the Pteranodon flyover.
And we know that they will add Pteranodons into the shot later on.
I was thinking that. I was thinking, hang on. Because there's a couple of shots in this trailer that still don't have flying dinosaurs. But is it because people are running at different points?
I think it's because people... I don't know. You know what, honestly? I think right there they're trying to imply they're running from the Indominus Rex, because at this point in the trailer they're talking about the Indominus Rex, and they haven't introduced Pteranodons in, so they might have just used an earlier plate by design.
Maybe just to throw us off a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cool shot nonetheless, but it's a quick one. Then we get Chris Chris Pratt next to some pretty big wheels.
Yeah, and you see the Indominus, he's busting out of there now. You see like everything just ripping into shreds as the Indominus pops out.
Yeah. And this is how Pratt hides. That he
I
slides.
love how he slides in, you see everything kick up. And I want to correct myself. I called the Indominus a he, it's a she.
And then alien.
Yeah, we hear the sound of like a sonar type of sound, like whoop, whoop, and we've got these guys looking very
up front.
And this part of the jungle looks very very The Lost World. I like it.
I'm so into this right now, man.
We get a pretty big reveal right here. Like we get an idea of how intelligent the animal is.
And what does Pratt say?
He says that she ripped out her tracking beacon, and they're like, "How would she do that?" And he's like, "She remembered where you put it." Basically, it's a hunk of flesh. I mean, it's debatable how intelligent the animal is. Perhaps she just knew that humans put something in her, so she's just trying to rid herself of everything that's been containing her. I don't know if she actually knows that that's helping them track them. She just might be trying to rid herself of everything foreign. But it's a very. I mean,
either way, it's cool.
It's a very.
I really like the bird's eye shot over the rock.
It's a really cool shot. So something's given away here at this point. So we're gonna hit a little bit of a spoiler territory. Most people watching the trailer probably realize, but if you don't want to hear it, cover your ears for a few seconds, I guess. Anyways, you've got Hamada looking serious, and then Pratt delivers the line, and then you've got blood dropping on Hamada.
She remembered where they put it in.
Yeah, and I don't know if she realizes that it's a tracking beacon necessarily, but nonetheless, she's smart enough to realize that whatever it is probably isn't good for her. And then we see something terrifying. We see the Indominus Rex grab him, and for a quick second, we see the control room, and here's where the spoiler comes in. We see Hamada's bio readout flatline.
Yeah.
So,
which is it's a proper big spoiler, but maybe you can't say for certain that he's gonna die.
Yeah, it could be that whatever is reading his bio display actually fell off of him. Like it's
how cool? How cool is that? That whole screen showing the ACUs, like sort of.
Oh, I bet
all their info.
Bet you we bounce.
Super Lost World.
I bet you we bounce between like them in the field and them in the control room, and we just watch them all get picked off, like sort of like Alien style, where we just kind of see like them basically get destroyed.
I love it, man. It's so. Remember the Lost World game for PlayStation?
Yeah,
like those intro movies. It's so that. It's so that. So Hunter. Then we get the nice shot of the must be the IRA. No, it's got to be the Raptors still pulling this guy.
Yeah,
back.
You've got the guy being pulled back, and the reason why we say Raptors is because he's down on like ground level.
Yeah, I mean it still could be the IRX, but it doesn't really seem possible. Like we don't know for sure, but.
Or it could be something that's not IRX or Velociraptor. It could just be something else that we haven't considered yet.
Yeah, it could be. Chris and Bryce, this is obviously quite early on, just as the IRX has got out.
Yeah.
And they're looking out into the Apatosaur.
A field of dead Apatosaurs. So they've got one dead one behind them. And
just killing for sport.
And they've got 5 dead Apatosaurs in front of them. Which, to be honest, is a little bit ridiculous, because I don't know how she killed them so in like such a quick succession that they're so close to each other, but maybe the idea is they stood and fought rather than running. There's like on the one nearest to the left, you've got wounds on her leg, wounds on her chest. I think you see a wound on her neck. So it took a few bites and scratches to take each of those down. So I mean, I'm just saying, they're all very close to each other. They would have got a little further away. So I'm thinking that what they might have done was the dynamic that a lot of scientists think sauropods did. Sometimes I think they might have kind of done a like hold their ground and try to whip the dinosaur with their tail type of situation. So maybe after running didn't work, they kind of bunched up like a herd and tried to fight it off, but it just backfired horribly. This next scene is great right after June 12th.
Yeah, and then we get... Okay, so we get it's an Ankylosaurus.
I am so glad they showed the scene in the trailers, since we accidentally spoiled it way back in like November. We accidentally left it in talking about the Ankylosaurus.
Genuinely was an accident.
It was an accident. It wasn't like...
It was in our list to cut out.
Yeah, it just... the podcasts run long. And we weren't supposed to mention... We didn't want to mention the fact that the Ankylosaur clubbed the gyrosphere ball. And if you notice, the Indominus Rex is back there in the background. But yeah, basically, she's running them down. Maybe the Indominus Rex realizes she can't get in the ball, in the gyrosphere. So she's she's scaring the ankylosaurs and hoping that they'll bust open the gyrosphere for her, basically, in a defensive pattern. Yeah. Or maybe it's just coincidental and the kids thought it would be safe to hide amongst the ankylosaurs and it backfires. I have no clue. Either way, it's a really cool shot and the CG looks really nice in it. And
it does, yeah. And it's really nice to see these dinosaurs again.
Yeah, and it's a different design for the ankylosaurs. And I didn't like them when we saw the render on the website. They looked really boring and stupid, but these look great, so... Those website renders weren't the best.
Moving on, we've got another shot of Main Street, people running, it jibs up. Then we've got a shot of Bryce inside the security. And there's quite a few people there, we can see.
Yeah.
Quite a few people are active.
Exactly.
This, again, is quite early on because she's clean.
Then we see the Indominus stomping down, and we see it. I love this. We haven't really seen a dinosaur do this, but the Indominus, she's using her tail against the ACU guys. She's just flinging them with her tail, and I just really like that.
You can see their massive guns, and then you can see it pick one of them up and throw.
I don't know if that's Hamada or not.
It kind of looks like him when you freeze frame.
I would like it if he actually survives, but he's like pretty much out of commission type of situation.
Yeah, they make it seem like that, but maybe they did that on purpose. And then we move on, and finally we see Vincent D'Onofrio. And it's so good to see him. You've got 20,000 people. You've got no more boats. You don't have enough guns. It's the way he delivers those lines is
cool. He actually has that's what I was saying. Like if you've seen Daredevil, he does a great job as Kingpin, the new Daredevil series, but he plays that character so different. It's just so seeing his range it's really fantastic. I think he's really going to deliver in this movie.
I've seen him in NCIS. He's fantastic in that.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him deliver with a little bit of ferocity.
And have like a main role as well. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for that. And he seems to really enjoy his time on set. He tweets about it all the time.
Yeah, part of me wonders if after he got cast for the role, if they upped his role, like if they made him a little bit more prominent.
I kind of hope so. He's epic, man.
Yeah, I don't know my guns too well, but that is some sort of like maybe I don't know, some sort of automatic. It's got a holographic sight on it. And these guys mean business.
Chris Pratt says, if we do this,
we do it my way.
This my way. And we have this really kind of epic, kind of cheesy shot where all the vehicle, you've got Chris on his
motorcycle.
You have Omar Sy
on a ATV, yeah. And then we got the Textron vehicle.
Yeah, which it's like a build-up thing.
Who do you think's in the Textron? I'm guessing maybe Vic Hoskins, Vincent D'Onofrio.
If Vic gets out, yeah. He does a little look back. And then, Chris, you're going to love this bit. They fixed the CGI.
Oh yeah, you can see the raptors through the through the grates.
I mean, that's it. The movie's done. That's it.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that they fixed that because like that would have bothered all of us now that we know to look for it.
And then we see a really kind of nice low angle shot of Chris Pratt leading the convoy in the Textron, and then we get that shot from the first trailer. Chris Pratt on the bike, and then with his raptors there, which looks a little cleaner, looks a bit improved.
It's an interesting shot. I still think it's pretty cheesy, but I think in the context of the movie, it should work. But I just love the idea of a motorcycle scene. Honestly, this is motorcycle and Velociraptor.
Always wanted it in.
Motorcycle and Velociraptors is something that they've attempted to work into the Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, and it finally made it into this movie. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, Raptor runs past. Then we get another shot of a landscape of Hawaii with a helicopter. This is JW001, am I right?
Yes, it is. Which we know Mizrahi pilots at one point during the film. I'm not sure if he continues to pilot it.
It could be this bit. We don't know. We don't see him. We see a guy in the back there with a massive gun.
Yeah, he goes. He's unleashing with it. And
we go back to Pratt on the ground
with his rifle.
Yep, next to Omar's side. Then we see Vic. What does Vic say here?
Open up or unleash on it or
light it up. That's such an epic shot, man.
Yeah,
that shot of Vic there,
and you can see Nublar in the background, the map.
Yeah, it's like a classic. He looks like he's in even in a different room.
Yeah,
in like his own office kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more yellowy and classic JP.
Something
it looks
about
a bit more vintage.
Vic kind of reminds me of a guy who answers to nobody. Like he's even though like he works for Mizrahi in Engine, I feel like he kind of answers to himself and is himself only. He's just got that private security. I mean, we know Engine's private security, and we know he's part of that firm, so something tells me this guy is a force to be reckoned with, for better or for worse. Can we see if Mizrahi's in there? Let me see.
Oh god, it is. Oh, actually, I don't know. You can't tell it's a guy in a pink shirt.
Yeah,
That's
probably Mizrani.
He's wearing a pink shirt in those promotional pictures, so he's obviously taking his jacket off because he means business.
Yeah, and then we've got the Indominus running, and basically the shots landing behind it, her.
And then we have the bazooka shot.
Yeah, and what I
really
like about this shot is it's in the jungle, and that's a practical explosion. Like, that's an actual explosion that they did in the jungle. I don't know why I love that so much, but that's not CG. It's real. You've got the vehicles in the background. You're just like, what is happening? But it's a real practical explosion.
Yeah.
Like, and then you see the guy go flying back, and once again, that's some real explosive. And then we've got the helicopter going down. And what's interesting is the helicopter looks like it's outside the aviary, but you see pteranodons flying around it. Did you notice that? Right at the beginning of the shot. So
maybe some are already out.
So my theory is, the Indominus breaks in the aviary and some sneak out that way, and then the helicopter goes down, making a hole for the rest of them.
But it looks fantastic. It looks like the Cabin in the Woods.
The
totally
Cabin in the
like
Woods
that.
scene where they hits the invisible force field.
Yeah, it's the same kind of force field, the hexagonals.
Yeah,
the
it's like
helicopter
a glass
smashes through.
It's like a glass aviary.
And then you see Pratt's reaction to the explosion.
Yeah, he's down on the ground.
Again, super Lost World, man. I'm really digging all these Lost World, not references, but
visual style. The Indominus Rex isn't like a completely crazy monster. Like, it's running from an explosion. It's an animal. You know, like, the helicopter crashes, the Indominus is like, oh shit, I'm out of here. A bunch are flying out. They're probably scared by the explosion. They're probably like, oh god, like, what the hell happened? Let's get the hell out of here.
And then we see Bryce, some sexy legs there, being chased by a T-Rex.
I was going to say some sexy legs chasing Bryce, but yeah, that.
Well, I mean, if you like dinosaurs like that, man, but I'm more into Bryce. So
well, what can I say? No, but for real, that
super
looks
cool shot,
and that looks like the T-Rex, not the I-Rex, for the record. First rule of if you're wearing heels and you're in a action or horror movie and shit goes down, kick them off and run barefoot. Just for the record, kick off the heels. Yeah,
and then we move on and we see Pratt kind of roll up to a stop. Omar's side behind him.
Yeah,
and then we cut to them, same scene over a log.
Now this scene's interesting because Omar says, like, we've got a problem. They're communicating, or what's
communicating?
Yeah, and a lot of people have assumed, because of the way the trailer rolls out, that's talking about the Indominus Rex with all the other dinosaurs. To be honest with you, I'm pretty certain it's talking about the Velociraptors.
Yeah, I mean, we know that they're watching the raptors in this scene, so yeah. I mean, the way they've cut it, they kind of cut straight back to the Indominus, so you get the impression that are they talking about the Indominus? But yeah, I think it's pretty clear they're talking about the raptors here.
Yeah, I mean, either way, the Indominus, it's an extra smart animal, but the rest of the dinosaurs are not. They're just regular dinosaurs, so that really, it wouldn't have any way to communicate with the other dinosaurs, because even if it could theoretically communicate, the rest of the dinosaurs wouldn't understand it anyways. So
yeah, this is a really nice shot. It roars at the camera, which is a shot and if you pause right up close near the end of the shot, you can see this is a really detailed piece of visual effects.
Yeah, it's nice.
This is a really detailed dinosaur right here. They've spent a lot of time on this design, and it's showing.
It reads well. Like, it's kind of like an Allosaurus meets a Carnotaurus in terms of, like, visual designs.
It's a nice dinosaur, man.
Yeah, it's cool looking.
I'm looking forward to seeing this.
I appreciate that it doesn't look like a monster.
Yeah, and then we see
the
Nick
kids.
Robinson, Ty Simpkins in
the gift shop.
In the gift shop, but this shot, I was saying to Chris before, it looks like, again, something out of Lost World when they're in the trailers.
Yeah,
it just kind of gives me that vibe. I think it's the color and
it's sort of like
kind of sterile environment.
It's definitely got like a little bit more of like almost like a horror movie vibe as well, where it's just like, I don't know. I imagine it may feel similar to the kitchen scene, but but probably more terrifying and action packed. Like, I imagine things kind of hit heavier.
We're talking about an animal here, which is what Bryce says, which is something a little different to what she's been saying in the other parts of the movie. Assets.
Yeah, she's calling it an animal, but also she's kind of astounded that the I-Rex can be as intelligent as it seems to be. Yeah. Essentially, she's kind of flabbergasted on how this animal is behaving, which is quite an interesting concept.
And then we see, again in the gift shop, Chris Pratt and Ty Simpkins and Nick Robinson there backing. It's a really quick track in.
And then the I-Rex hand just busts through the wall and claws so close to them.
Claws along the floor, yeah.
That shot reminds me, I can't tell what that shot reminds me of, but I feel like I've seen that shot in a different movie. I just don't know what.
And then we see the mobile veterinary unit being with people in the back. Do you know who it is in the back? Is that Nick Robinson in the back?
I can't imagine that he's out in the middle of the night.
No, but do you
Hold
think Chris Pratt went to save them in the gift shop? Because that's his burgundy purple shirt.
Because we've seen them during the daytime on Main Street being attacked by pteranodons, which means they make it back during the daytime.
That's just true. But yeah, it's driving away. The raptors are chasing, and then we see... Okay, so this is a cool shot. This is outside the raptor kind of arena. And we see the raptor in a very Lost World style jump on top of this guy, and as the head comes in, it becomes...
That did kind of look like Nick Robinson, to be honest with you, in the back of that ambulance, though. Like, I did rewind it, and I can see why you say that, so who knows?
It could be. But yeah, the raptor jumps in, and that's a prosthetic. That's an animatronic raptor.
Yeah, we're almost certain that the head, if you pause at the last minute, it definitely looks like a prosthetic or animatronic or puppet head, however you want to call it.
Yeah, so they've blended the two there, and it's worked really well, because if you really do pause, you can see the detail on this head.
Yeah, and plus the eye looks a little bit different.
Yeah, it looks cool. And then, yeah, so it attacks that guy, probably kills him. And then...
Yeah. So, hey, guess what? You know, everyone who was complaining about velociraptors being tamed, you know, maybe they're not necessarily completely untamed, but if you get in their way, you're dead, essentially.
Yeah. They work for Pratt to a point, and then that's it.
Yeah.
They're off on their own accord. And then we get... She's a highly intelligent animal, and you see just some random dude in the suit.
Yeah. He looks like he would be, like... United Nations, like, coming down to, like, be like, you've got shit going down, you need to take care of this. Like, he looks like he is just... He looks tense.
Yeah, yeah. Like, he's come in from the board. He's like, yeah, we've talked about what's happening here, and loads of people have died, so you're going to have to go ahead and
you need to do something.
Yeah, and then we see the Indominus Rex. Again, fantastic
I love this shot.
Here, and it roars at the pteranodons.
So a lot of people are like, oh, it's the Indominus, because it's sort of following up that line of, like, they're talking. So a lot of people think it's supposed to be an Indominus Rex talking to the pteranodons. That's not what's happening. It's a dinosaur roaring and other dinosaurs being terrified. Honestly, I think that's what sparks them to all fly out. I think mixed with, like, the explosion of the helicopter, and then the Indominus Rex is kind of roaring at everything. It just kind of basically creates enough chaos that the Indominus Rex can probably escape. If I want to make one interesting note, it bugs me that the wings on the pteranodons and dimorphodons are the same color. The fact that they're both kind of orange, because it's hard to distinguish them when they're all flying around. It would have been interesting if one had a different color as opposed to the other. That way you could just distinguish them a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, size helps, but yeah, I see what you mean. We see Pratt with his... this isn't the same rifle, is it? Or is
no, that looks like a tranquilizer, like a tranq gun or something.
Yeah. So he has that out. Yeah, there's this rifle over his shoulder, and then we get this awesome shot, low down, low in the water.
Yeah.
On the water. The mosasaur grabs this...
A pteranodon. This mysteriously close to the water being weighed down pteranodon.
And we can see the hotel in the background there. It grabs this pteranodon, it squeezes it, gives its final squawk.
Yeah,
we get a really good view of the CGI here.
I don't like the design of the pteranodon, but I appreciate all that detail, like the color. I like the color. I love how shiny and wet it looks in the inside of the beak, and also I appreciate that there's no teeth. The pteranodon looks a little bit like a villainous, weird creature, and when its beak opens, it reminds me of a sickly baby bird. You know, like when
it looks like a pelican, man.
Yeah,
like
it looks like a
really sharp pelican.
Yeah, just like a very weird. Like if you took a pelican and mixed it with a reptile, and and it was just angry and sickly, that would be the pteranodon in Jurassic World.
Yeah, man. So yeah, then we cut to black, and we see the Jurassic World logo, Chris Bryan's logo. That comes through. We see June 12th in theaters, Real 3D and IMAX 3D. And yeah, we get the credits there.
And there was no credit stinger this time, which I found interesting.
Yeah, which is true. But, that's so cliche. And then we see we see story by Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, screenplay by Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver, and Derek Connolly and Colin Trevorrow. So if you've been following this, you'll probably know that there was a bit of a dispute with the with the credits on this film, and it got sorted to this, which is a bit weird to see, the fact that the screenplay's but yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
it's unfortunate for everyone who's put their creative effort and kind of not being properly credited. In the case of Colin and everyone, like, it's just, you've got to feel bad for them, because, I mean, they even kind of stated, like, hey, you know, we were taken aback by this as well.
Yeah, I mean, what we think we know is that they rewrote the entire script. They didn't redraft Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver's, but Rick Jaffa and Amanda Silver probably had a lot of ideas that went into this movie as well. You know, the whole concept itself, I know that was Spielberg and the guy who wrote I Am Legend, probably, but
yeah, we have no idea.
We don't know the full details about it, but it is a shame that now the screenplay kind of I guess Colin can't have written and directed by
convoluted. Yeah, it's so convoluted. Basically, there was the way that screenwriting credits work, there was no way that everybody could be credited in the proper way. There isn't the correct credits. Like, some of the credits don't exist, basically, to credit it properly.
Yeah, this movie has been a long time in the making.
Oh my god, I mean, if you read the John Sayles script, the one that's really crazy and out there's still a lot of similarities. Like, it's completely changed, but, I mean, there's a team of raptors that are trained, they're named, there's hybrid dinosaurs, except for in that script, it's all the dinosaurs, and they're not like the big bad. The big bad in the John Sayles script, literally, I swear to God,
similarities,
it's drug lords in the John Sayles script.
You could have, if the credit existed, you could have, like, story co-created by John Sayles kind of thing. Like, you could go that far with it. So seeing a bulk load of written by is not too crazy.
There are rules and regulations with the way that all works, and it can get convoluted when you have something like this where a lot of people gave a lot of time, and because they had their hands in first, even if they weren't the ones that originally come up with the idea, the fact that they're the ones that put it on paper first, they essentially, by guild regulations, get the credit. It's convoluted, it's complicated. Silver and Jaffa are amazingly talented, and I'm sure they contributed a lot, but I'm sure the story that we're seeing is Colin and Derek, and I mean,
yeah, no, it is the story within this universe that was created, you know, for Jurassic World. Yeah, then it was definitely Colin and Derek. But I mean, he tweeted something about that. They're kind of just happy it's been. Or no, there was an article. I think they're just happy that
he had a classy response. He's like, "Hey, we love the writers. We've been talking to them. No bad blood between us. We don't agree with the guild's decision for the way they credited it, but we're happy it's over and have fun. The movie's going to be awesome." You know,
it doesn't matter when the lights go down. Something to that remark. So all good. Directed by Colin Trevorrow at the end there. Absolutely loved that trailer.
Yeah, same. And again, as we opened up, this is pretty momentous for. I mean, I know that you liked it genuinely a lot more than you liked the other ones, and I just genuinely like this one. I kind of emulated positivity for the last ones. Not that anything I saw made me worried about the movie. I still don't like the trailer as a trailer. Just
a quick one, guys. Obviously, I did my poster analysis yesterday, where I said that we're going to be doing this tonight, which we have done. It's Monday evening, and we've recorded. So thank you for watching this video. We're going to do our podcast later in the week where we discuss our competition that we ran, where you could win a signed by Phil Tippett Jurassic World poster. We're going to be talking about the winners and some of the runner-ups and just the general stuff about the competition. There were
so many good entries. Voting was so hard.
And we'll talk about that in the podcast, and then we'll give more of our impressions of this trailer. But thank you so much for watching our analysis. We really hope you've enjoyed it.
Until next time, June 12th, between now and June 12th, I imagine there's going to be a lot, so listen for us, because we're probably going to have to do this a few more times in the near future.
We are. And just keep locked to our Twitter, at Jurassic Park 4, the original.
The best and the original.
The best. Yeah, keep up to date with that. We'll be covering the next month and a half. This is going to be crazy. Really hope you've enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching, guys.
Take care.